see me? Oh my God! Right, can you see me? Can you hear me? That's the big question. I'm It's lost my virtual backdrop, which is very disappointing. I can see that Duke is hilarious. Find this hilarious. So I don't know what's going on with this. I had this virtual backdrop working until 5 seconds ago, and it's decided, oh no, you don't deserve a virtual backdrop anymore. Apparently, so thank you, StreamYard, you bastard. Put my virtual backdrop back in. What if I did that? What if I do that? If I pick a different one, does that help? No. You bastards. Okay, fine. I totally give up. This is just green. Totally doesn't help. Blue doesn't help at all. I'm so annoyed. What are you doing? Well, my apologies to the entirety of the internet who are not watching this, who are watching this and annoyed by my complete lack of funky backdrop. Orientation setting disabled while live yet. Great, wonderful. Don't know what's going on there. Right. All right, let's bring in the guests. So, hi, you all know who I am by now. It's Dr. Alex. Yes, this is a celebration of YouTube finally, after years, deciding to monetize the channel. And there's plenty to talk about there because why have they suddenly decided to monetize the channel now? I mean, I've got one sensible reason-ish that might be we can talk about, but we'll talk about that when we have our guests on. I have two guests so far. I've got On Comics, otherwise known as Lonnie Webb, who you will have seen on various other streams, and he's worked with me on the Doctor Season 14. And the last episode we had out, and which is still up as the current banner episode for the channel, is Lonnie's last episode, which is the Death at the Edge of the Universe. Fantastic. I'm quite proud of both of our work there. And the other guest, I will introduce them both at the same time, save time there, because we are about 5 minutes late running this, is Juka, who anyone who watched the last, probably, of the Beyond the Horizon documentaries, where we talked about the phage, the virus that cures, that I had the fantastic help of Juka on the Beyond the Horizon thing we did afterwards, where we talked about it, which was amazing. Okay, let's bring them both in because they're here now. Oh, and by the way, Lonnie on Comics has got a little bit of prep time with me, so he knows what we can talk about, whereas Duke is completely unprepared and looks like he's walking around a park. So this should be interesting. Let's bring in Lonnie.
Hey, Dr. Alex.
Hello.
Hey, Duke.
Hello, I hope you can hear me. Hello.
Yes.
Hello to everyone.
We can.
Okay.
We've got everyone here.
Nice.
Well, everyone who wants to be here anyway. By the way, look at my backdrop. What the hell happened to my backdrop? I had a fantastic backdrop.
You can take a still and put it up there using settings.
It was a still set up there in settings, and it's still there, but it just doesn't show it anymore. It won't even let me set it. Oh, StreamYard.
I hate StreamYards.
There you go. Something else you can bitch about, StreamYard. But yeah, it looked amazing. As Lonnie is my witness, it did look amazing.
Yes, it did exist at one point.
Yeah.
Well, you can sell it as a honest beyond scene podcast, like a stream, right?
Yeah. And if
you can be more honest than dropping your backstage.
Yeah, it's true. And also, if I put this on another channel, if I put it onto Rumble, I can re-edit the video and put a backdrop behind me anyway, because I have a blue screen behind me, for God's sake. But anyway, that's something else for another time to worry about. So yeah, they monetized me. What would you two like to say about that before I yammer on?
I'm totally gobsmacked that they have monetized you.
Yes.
And I'm totally gobsmacked that they did it without any fanfare, any hey, you did this one thing we asked you to do.
Yeah, they gave me a congratulations for going over 2,000 subscribers message. Great.
Is that the new floor?
No, it's still 1,000 subscribers with X number of, all the same thing it was before. Yeah. So this doesn't make sense. I'm 1,000 over the requirement for subscribers. I've been over the number of videos, over the number of watched hours for 1,000 years, and yet they suddenly, okay, now we'll do it. Why?
Are you aware about like total views of your channel?
Yeah, yeah.
Like
I
maybe there is some threshold on total view, like 1 million or
no, no, no,
something.
no. Well over the total views. All the boundaries were crossed forever. It's just they've rejected it all the time. Not on the I haven't passed any of the criteria. It's because they said, oh, there's too much duplicated content there. Which fair enough. Some of the videos I have, as I was saying to Lonnie earlier before we started, I've got videos on there which are duplicate. They're like the cartoons, the Jules Verne cartoons that I
Mhm.
restored and made look better and clean the sign on. But they're already versions on YouTube. So yeah, there's plenty of videos I can say, yeah, that's duplicate content. But they never told me which ones were the duplicate content that was causing offense. And I've got, nudging towards 1,000 videos up there now. Which ones are the ones that are causing offense? Never told you. No way of telling. So I didn't do anything. I just kept reapplying every so often. And this time, suddenly it worked.
Wow.
I, I I have something like this with I try to put my podcast like Georgian Lingual on iTunes, and the problem was my host service is SoundCloud, and you cannot tell SoundCloud that it's Georgian Lingual, and so I
Right.
was rejected several times from iTunes because they said, oh, it's not quite as described, and then at some point they just accept. I think it's just a human factor or whatever.
Well, I mean, maybe, but I've asked for reviews many times in the past. I stopped doing that eventually, but it just
Hmm,
makes no
I see.
sense.
It
Thank you,
sounds like the
YouTube, for doing
criteria
it.
definitely changed, though.
Yeah. I mean, thanks for doing it, but also I have no illusions that it's going to stay that way for more than 5 minutes as well.
Yeah.
Ah, come
Take
on.
take the money and get it. Go ahead and transfer it somewhere.
There's no money yet. They still haven't set up a method of
Yeah,
doing
okay, yeah.
payment because I haven't made enough money off it yet. Because they only did it yesterday. I mean, of course, I haven't made any bloody money, but that's kind of leading into the next part of
I'm
what I want to
sure
talk
you'll
about.
make a solid dollar before you hit the end of the year.
Exactly. I mean, it's never going to be. I'm not retiring on this stuff. Let's put it that way. Yeah?
Well, I appreciate you bringing us in, and it's great fun to celebrate anybody getting monetized. It's something that Rabbi hasn't been able to achieve in a dog's age.
Has he not? Oh, it's been demonetized again,
He's
isn't it?
been demonetized
Yeah, exactly. So I don't
because
expect this to
Oops.
he
last.
speaks on religion.
Yeah.
Ah, I see.
Well, I haven't got that trap, but that means nothing.
Yeah.
I was watching just before, earlier today, in fact, I was watching, oh God, Egotastic Fun Time's latest video where he was talking about ditching his entire YouTube channel because he got demonetized. And he actually, that's the thing, he relies on that as his income. And
Ooh.
they
Ah.
they gave no reasons why he's demonetized. He's been demonetized for what, 6 months to a year now, and he's like on the breadline basically. And this is just not on. I mean, I don't rely on it deliberately. I wouldn't rely on it because you can't. But some people out there really do, and it's really shitty that you cannot trust them or do anything about
Yeah.
it.
No wonder.
With this big, yeah, with the big corporation, I was like afraid because I was once blocked on eBay and I was completely like without reason. I mean,
Yeah,
I know I have suspicions why I was blocked because I have like several accounts, like one in UK, like delivery boxes in
yeah,
UK, in Germany, and I think even in Italy, and I just switching them because I can do this, right? And I think it triggers some warning system, and I was like
yeah.
blocked like for 2 years, and then I tried to write down to support. I realized they said like, oh, we cannot, you are like hazard for our community or something or threat for our community
Mm.
and we do not explain you because next time you might kind of trick our system whatever, and I was like blocked for 2 years, and
Bloody
then at
hell.
some point I decided to write the message to eBay but through the Facebook, because
Yeah,
even on support I was blocked. They say like,
yeah.
we already explained you, no way. And then I write like huge message with explaining like, I don't know what triggered it, but I do this and this,
Mm.
and some human operator just reach out to me, and they unblock me. And then I asked like, what can I do, like what to avoid it next time? She said like,
Yeah,
nothing. I cannot tell you why you were blocked, but I read your explanation, it sounds reasonable, so we unblock it. And after that point, I afraid so much of big corporation because you can do nothing. Like
yeah,
Google is not just a service, it's kind of
Yes.
thinks a lot of my routine is dependent on. And if I'm blocked, and especially in automatic way, it's like complete insane damage to my performance, like for a month or two, even maybe even more. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. This is why I
I
do
hear
not.
you.
Well, I try to de-Google myself as much as possible. My phone, my Android phone, is a de-Googled Android phone. It's Lineage OS, so all the Google crap has been pulled off it, and it's just pure Android basically, near enough. Uh, it does make using a few things a bit tricky, but I'd rather have that than have something that's constantly monitoring and is entirely dependent upon the goodwill of Google.
Yeah. Being
Um,
being on an iPhone is kind of sticky for me, but Google, no, we're not going there.
yeah.
That's one step. Google and Microsoft are the same thing in as far as that goes.
Yeah, I would recommend Lineage OS though, as a workaround because you're using Android then, but you're not using Google. And
Yep.
it really weird aside here. My mum, my aged mum,
Mhm.
I bought her a very old tablet. It was a Galaxy 10 Note tablet, which is actually very old now.
Uh-huh.
So old that the
I'm
the
using 9, dude. Come on, don't insult me. I'm using Note 9.
what and you can upgrade the OS on it.
I'm not sure I can upgrade OS on it, but I don't care.
You
It's
can
working. I
sideload
mean,
it maybe.
Well, no, fair enough. But mum couldn't get her WhatsApp to work anymore because the OS couldn't upgrade and they couldn't upgrade the WhatsApp. So I basically had to
really?
take her tablet
Hmm.
and put Lineage OS on it. And it is so much better than the Android because it's running Android version, God knows, much. Wait, I can't remember what Android it was on. Something like 4, maybe 6. It's now running Android
Are you
8
sure
or
you are talking
9.
about Note 10?
Yeah, the Note is
You
10, but
said
the
Note
Android
10.
on it is something
Okay,
like Android
okay.
version 4 or 5. I mean, it's old, and it couldn't be upgraded any further. Whereas the Android it's running because it's Lineage is something like Android version 10 or more, and it can run all the latest software because of that. And this thing is creaky and old, but it's suddenly
Mhm.
fast as well. It's amazing how much crap Google has stuffed on their stuff to make it not, which makes it not run.
Yeah.
So the animals doing weird stuff.
I resold my I had a 5 in the drawer. I finally had to sell for parts because you can't even charge it anymore.
Oh,
In the 5, my 5, you couldn't change not really. You couldn't change the battery.
yeah, I get what you
They don't
mean.
make
Yeah,
them anymore.
Ah, okay.
my phone is a Moto G3, I think. So this phone is at least 10 years old. It's so fast. Its camera is bloody good. Half those Fox videos, most of those Fox videos I'm putting up, the camera's this one on my bloody phone, and it does 1080 nicely and well. The audio
Mm.
is great on it as well. I mean, I've recorded concerts off this camera, and it sounded pretty damn good. But the reason it's still so good is because it's using Lineage OS, and it's so stripped back and so lightweight. It can just fly. It does fly. Continues to fly.
That's fantastic.
Okay, okay.
We're hostages
Sorry, sorry.
to
Lineage would
enforced
be the one that I
obsolescence.
would go to.
Say again. Say
I
again.
said Lineage would be the OS I would put on an Android
Yeah. I would say
or
to anyone out there,
Graphene.
do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything that bypasses Google, because there's just so much crap. On the subject of bypassing crap, so YouTube, I think I kind of mentioned, have monetized me, but ironically, in the last couple of weeks, maybe 3-4 weeks, let's say 3 or 4 weeks, I've been pointing people on YouTube to a series I've been putting out on Rumble because I couldn't put it out on YouTube for risk of it doing exactly the same thing they've been complaining about before: duplicate content. It's Otherworld, remastered by me, made the audio and video as good as I can get it with the crappy sources that are available, mostly on YouTube. So I didn't put it on YouTube again because I said, well, fine, you're going to complain about it being already there. I'll put it out on Rumble. Rumble there was a tick in the, I mean, there's always been like a few cents of revenue coming from Rumble because they do actually pay revenue as soon as your stuff is there and is monetized. And it's actually kicked up from cents just into the dollars range, which is, oh, hello. And at exactly the time where Rumble starts kicking out more money. Not that it's never not kicked out money. YouTube suddenly go, we'll monetize you.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, I doubt that they
Okay.
care that much about me, surely. But
There's a correlation. If you're
it's
making
weird.
money on another platform,
Yeah.
they're watching that, and they want you to stay with them.
Yeah, because I have been obviously making it quite obvious. So the videos are always this video. This is actually on Rumble. Go to Rumble now. Watch this on Rumble. But here's a little pressy of the actual episode. Here's me blathering about it for like 2 minutes. Now go to Rumble, and then suddenly they monetize me. I seriously doubt it's that. I mean, should we be wearing tinfoil hats? I don't know, but maybe.
Something for their AI to do.
Yeah, maybe. It's certainly suspicious. Let's put it that way. Oh, I'm not watching the.
Yeah.
Hello, Darren M. I said hello about your thing before. Thank you for talking to the chat. I'm keeping an eye on the chat. I'm doing my best proper hosting thing here. I'm very out of practice on this.
You can never be prepared. I mean,
oh, nobody's prepared for the Spanish Inquisition.
yeah.
Oh, hello. So yeah, Rumble. My thing I would say is Rumble are definitely, they're still not ideal, and they still have a limited viewership. I have not 200, about 150 subs on Rumble. I've got 2,000 plus now on YouTube, and yet Rumble have paid me more money than YouTube have, because YouTube have paid me nothing yet. So Rumble are definitely upping their game slowly. I still wish you could do playlists. I mean, I can't believe you can't do playlists on Rumble. Everything I've ever put up on Rumble is one massive list in chronological order of all the stuff I've stuffed up there. That's not ideal.
To my shame, I need to admit, I never heard about Rumble, and now I will check it out. Okay.
Oh yeah.
It
Could
has
you
a bit of a
tell
rep.
more? Like, who is behind that? Is there
I'm
some
not
big
sure.
corporation behind, or it's like open source stuff, or
It's a
or you
company,
don't? It's
but not Google-sized company. It's not the same one. Lonnie, do
okay.
you know more?
Well, it's at one point I did know a name, but it's slipping my mind. You know who Truth Social is? Donald Trump's Twitter.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
It is being hosted by Rumble.
Ah, I see.
So
Okay.
there is somebody running Rumble that is also hosting an alternative commerce of companies that don't want to be taken down by YouTube, Amazon, what have you. So for the people who want to get away from the risk of being canceled, they're going to that company. I'm not big enough to be interesting, thank heavens. But for the people that are, that's an excellent, viable alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a shame that it's got this political sort of taint to it, if you like, because there's a lot of right wing, as it would be, the air quotes, right? People are perceived as right wing appear on Rumble, and if you go on Rumble, they're like, "Oh, you're right wing as well." No, I'm not on there for any political reason. I'm there because it's a platform I can put videos out on. That's it. But there's a skew on Rumble that way. But on the other hand, it does actually kind of do the whole free speech thing better than YouTube is, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
So I'm not going to turn my nose up or back on them, because some people on there might not be the same political persuasion as me. I'm not even going to say what I am. I'm not sure I'm very definitely one or the other. But I'm not going to say Rumble are bad because Donald Trump might use it, for example.
Gee, I have no idea what persuasion I might be.
I have a wide range of friends with a wide range of beliefs. Go on, Juka, sorry.
No, I have a question. Like, do you know some story about like really extreme leftist who was banned or like I don't know, demonetized on Rumble? Not really, right? Not yet.
No, but Russell Brand.
There was somebody on YouTube got banned. but that was for something to do with violence.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
He did something bad.
Russell Brand ended up on Rumble. I don't think he's on
Oh
YouTube anymore.
yeah,
But
Russell.
he's not a
Yeah.
right wing he's definitely in the lefty camp. It's just he wasn't saying exactly the same thing every other lefty was saying. So he ends
He's
up on Rumble.
too close to the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The Rumble clientele is now the middle and the right. So
Okay,
it's
nice.
just the people that are not far left.
It's certainly turning that way. Yeah, I think I agree.
Either that or Rumble is smartly blocking the crazy from me.
Yeah, so it seems. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, Rumble. Yeah. So Rumble, I would recommend. I actually commented on Egotastic Fun Times video he said where he's about tearing his hair out and about to ditch his YouTube channel, saying, "Try Rumble. It's worth a go. You do get monetized from the get-go.
Mhm.
You're not going to not get money from it. As long as people watch your videos, you will get paid for it, unlike YouTube, where they're, as we know, completely unreliable."
Completely.
So I hope he listens, and I hope I hope it works for him. I hope many people do this as well. While on this subject of using alternate platforms, I've pumped various books and audio books out, don't you both?
Yes.
And I'm really glad for that.
Yeah. And I'm go on. You keep say Duke, I don't want to cut you off.
No. I was like maybe pushing even like too hard. Like years ago, I asked Alex like, please do this, and like
You did.
I probably was annoyed friend, like annoying friend. Yeah. So
Yeah,
sorry.
how did you start off doing that? Was it I put the paper books out and then you told me to do audio versions?
I accidentally realized that I met him on the summer. Who don't know? Like maybe people don't know, but I met Alex on the physics summer school in Erice in Italy. And then, like years after, I realized accidentally that he just slipped it in the conversation, like, "Oh, actually, I write a couple of chapters for Doctor Who," and I was like, "What?" Uh, and then I asked him, like, maybe you do even like voiceovers or something, because by that time I tried to learn English, and I realized that good reader is always a thing you need to do, especially if you are not native speaker. Like the better reader is, it's more reliable, like more realistic to finish the book at all. So, so it's like, and your English probably is like really good. So
Yeah, thank you. I knew I had the perfect crowd for this live stream right here, because yes, I'm pretty sure you did at least start. Yeah, you put the seeds in my head of I've got stuff written. I could start reading it, because I didn't write new stuff immediately. I read the old Doctor Who stuff I published first through YouTube. I'm going to say Duke probably inspired me to do that. There you go. And then I wrote new stuff, which I published through Amazon. And I will never not say thank you forever for Amazon to allow me that avenue of publishing. There would not be the paper, hardback, and Kindle versions of the new books and new material, but for Amazon. I'm not saying they sell fantastically well. I think Amazon don't promote the stuff that independent publishers do much at all. I've done what I can to promote this stuff, obviously, but beyond that, they don't do anything at all. But they are the only ones out there doing actual book publishing as freely as that. So I've got to put my hats off to Amazon every time. But the audiobook stuff, I've got some screenshots captured, but I can't remember I can't remember how to do this very smoothly, so I might not bother showing them. But I went to Audible, which is also still Amazon, and did my audiobooks of the Doctor season 12, 13, and will be 14 eventually. I did those two through Audible, and they have sold, but they've been selling since 2020. And I was saying to Lonnie earlier before I started, 2020 is when the first one came out, and I have made, drum roll please everyone, I have made in 3 years $35. I see Duke is about to faint there, I think.
Yeah.
Now, recently, I found another audiobook outlet because I was trying to do audiobooks of old, out of copyright books like The War of the Worlds, and I can't do it through Audible. It's impossible.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
found Findaway Voices, which I know you kind of probably know about it, Juka, because the Spotify own Findaway Voices. And I've put the War of the Worlds, read by Richard Roten, and I've done Call of Cthulhu, written by Vincent Price, and I've done The Doctor Season 12 and The Doctor Season 13 again, but this time through Findaway Voices. Those books in total have only been out for 3 months. I've already made $45 in 3 months off Findaway Voices through their sales. Yeah. And they are definitely selling more through Findaway Voices. And they're doing what Audible said they would do, which is pass the stuff on to other providers. But I've never seen evidence of that, which is why I ended up putting season 12 and 13 out on Findaway Voices without relying on Audible doing it, because they've had it for 2+ years and they haven't. So I did, and now Audible are already selling more. I'm just putting that out there again. So I don't know how much content you guys are creating. Well, you are creating some, obviously, but keep Findaway Voices.
This is explaining some hurdles I have had.
Yeah. Tell me more if you can.
Yeah, I have had the disappointing hurdle of, hey, I'm paying for this, I'm giving you this. Why is it not, why am I not getting more return? Why I'm not seeing more sales? Well, they're not promoting us. Period.
Are you on the Amazon?
That I think that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, I mean, there's no promotion as like frankly on Amazon. Whereas I'm not saying they're doing much on Spotify and or Findaway Voices is basically Spotify, and their various other partners they'll send it to. By the way, they will send it to Audible as well, but I couldn't do that with the War of the Worlds and Call of Cthulhu because they won't accept the ones that are not written by you. No, they're not written by me because they're out of copyright books. They don't. I can do this legally. I'm allowed to do this. Why won't you? And they will do out of copyright books. It's just incredibly hard to get Audible to accept it. There's too many holes to jump through.
You have to find the correct check mark.
Yeah, exactly. It's impossible virtually. And I will produce everything now through Findaway Voices, because when I do season 14, Lonnie, this is for you as well because you're in season 14. When I do the audiobook version of that, I'll put it out through Findaway Voices first and tick Audible as one of the partners that they can send it to, because that should work. And that way, at least I'll have the whole thing covered in one go. But I will never use Audible straight off the bat now, because Findaway Voices have already, like in 3 months, proven themselves reliable and supportive. Discuss.
May I ask a question? Like, is this? No, sorry. I will ask after.
No. Go ahead.
Go, Juka.
Okay, I have a question about the. So this Doctor Who episodes, seasons, do you put the same recordings or you redone the recordings for the Spotify?
Okay, yeah. So they are basically the YouTube videos. Although I normally clean them up at least one more time. I mean, you kind of have to. They're, at least for Audible, there's quite a stringent hurdle of audio quality you have to get through. I'd say Findaway Voices were not quite as difficult. You still have to have good quality recordings, but they weren't quite as picky as Audible. So I do normally have to massage them a little. I also cut out extra pauses and stuff. I do more processing than just the YouTube videos.
So the hashtags of the files will be different for the Audible. Okay. That was I was just wondering, like maybe they cross-check it or whatever. I don't know.
No, to be fair, Audible don't care at all. As long as it's your own work, they just care about.
No, maybe they file some automatic complaints about like, oh, this video, this audio, exactly this audio is posted here, and it belongs to us. And so maybe somehow they can, I don't know, make a problem to Spotify. Yeah, well, if YouTube can do it, why not? Yeah, I don't know. Like, I really don't know this legal stuff.
Well,
but
it's my stuff.
Yeah,
I own it, so they can't block it. So that's not a big problem.
Well, okay, yeah. Well, with music, maybe it's for more. So, for example, Facebook constantly
Yes.
blocking my own shopping recordings.
Yeah.
It said like I'm violating some copyrights.
Oh,
I
wait,
cannot
surely
violate
Chopin's not a
copyrights of
copyright,
the
is
guy, and I'm playing it myself. You know, it's not like I'm putting some other guy's recording,
Yeah.
and it's original
Ridiculous.
videos. And
Yeah.
I think maybe I play too good, and they recognize the
Obviously.
pattern, and they think it's professional recording and can belong to me or something like this, because I cannot understand why it's blocked in some particular part of USA. They just muted half of the video, and I can do nothing with this. With YouTube, I never have this issue. With Facebook
No.
uploads, I have it.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
example, I don't know.
Lonnie, I have to clue you in a bit here. When we were at these conferences, plural, I was at 4 conferences with Duca, all in Sicily, in Erice, for, what was it, 2013, 14, 15, and 16. Those are the years. Duca would always be there playing piano brilliantly in the room where we drank Masala wine and got pissed, or in the basement of the other
Yeah.
room where we got pissed. Mostly we just got pissed the whole time. That's what it was about. I'll tell you about Erice another day. But
Yeah,
okay,
but each day, Alex, like even we are drinking heavily, he each day do 3 minutes plank. Oh my god, I was like,
was that?
what a
Yeah,
robot is
still
he?
doing. Yeah, I'm a bit out of practice actually. I haven't been anywhere since lockdown. I haven't been as rigorous with my exercises. I'm still exercising, but not like that. Yeah. Thanks, Duca. But his piano
Yeah.
play. Some of my Facebook videos have come up recently where they remind you about stuff from years ago, and a couple of them were Duca playing piano in the getting pissed room. Plural.
Yeah.
So that was so cool. I miss Erice. I miss those conferences.
Okay. Yeah. You can come to Georgia. I'm in a renovation of apartment, so I definitely will put some extra bed for the guests. So we need to recall our experience.
Yes.
I would
I
go to
liked
that
our.
conference just to watch you guys.
Sure.
You might have seen 1 or 2 videos on Facebook, Lonnie, because I have posted 1 or 2 of them recently because they cropped up and it was Duca being amazing.
I've seen you
Not just
playing a set on a video, and I don't remember where it came from.
Duca.
Okay.
Maybe it was
Yeah.
there.
Duca playing, yeah. You saw Duca playing, yeah.
No, I saw you playing.
Or Alex.
Oh, I have been known to play guitar on occasion. Not playing piano, surely.
Yes.
Playing piano?
I
mean, I've done it occasionally.
I don't
play-
remember.
I think it was like organ or something. Yeah.
Oh yeah, fine. I got organs and I have piano now, really, but I can't play them. But I have them. But I'm not a pianist.
Oh.
I'm barely a guitarist. I'm so out of practice. You can remind me of so many things I have to do or get back into doing. And my fencing, Duca talked about my keeping fit. That was because I was still fencing quite actively at the time. I haven't fenced properly since lockdown, really, either. And I'm so out of practice. I've so many things to do. But thank you for reminding me of all the awesome things we have to do.
While you're taking a breath,
actually.
Sorry, Lonnie?
I was just going to mention that Taylor Swift is greater than Disney, Star Wars, and MCU and Doctor Who. Just came into the chat, and I will make the mention that while we're celebrating Dr. Alex's monetization on YouTube, this would be an excellent time for everybody in the chat, all 2 of you, to to go ahead and give Dr. Alex a super chat so he has to read them. No matter what they say.
I have no idea how this works, but yeah, I guess that's the thing now, is it? Yeah.
That's the way I'm playing it.
Give me a second. I need to at least say hello again to everyone.
I hope that comes through on StreamYards.
I'm going to be really lazy, so I can't type very well, everyone. But I'm going to do what I can. There you go. Hello, everyone. I know that I was typing with my left hand. I'm right-handed, for God's sake. Although I have to say, My left hand's getting much better at things. But anyway, hello everyone. Who's that? Oh, I'm in the wrong place now. I should never have leaned over there. I've confused myself too much now. Yeah. So what was I going to say? So yeah, we've covered YouTube versus Rumble. Everyone should be using Rumble wherever they can, I think.
Absolutely.
If only as a backup and a safety net, but it potentially can be a lot better than YouTube. And anyone writing, I'd still recommend going to Amazon to get your paper stuff published. But for Audible stuff, I'd go Findaway Voices. You have an audiobook you want to put out there, Findaway Voices, very easy, very helpful. If you're familiar with Audible setup, it's not that dissimilar in terms of the way you put it together on the web interface, but just way easier to do in terms of getting stuff out and not having any obstructions. So what would you two like to talk about now?
I want just quickly add this stuff about self-publishing through Amazon.
Yeah.
I recently go through the Silo. Do you know this TV show, Silo?
Silo?
It's Apple. I think it's from Apple, Apple TV or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like post-apocalyptic world with some stuff. It's funny to read and funny to watch.
Mhm.
And the guy actually
miniseries.
published. Yeah, it's a TV series. Yeah, I think it's like one season yet.
Right.
We have a super chat.
Oh God! What?
Okay.
Thank you, Darren M. Oh my God. I get what do I do? Okay, I read Darren M's super chat. Yeah. Darren M says, "Congrats,
Yeah.
Dr. Alex, on I can't read this very well, my eyesight. On achieving the milestone. All the best, my friend. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Oh God, how do I do the like thing?
Yeah, I
Yes.
can't see it on your side, but you might have to click something
There's a hearty thing. I
to
think I did it.
accept
Oh, wait, there's another
and
like
mark it
thing.
as
Yeah.
having
I've
been
liked it and
performed.
hearted
By the
Hey.
way, Dr. Alex,
Yeah,
while
sorry.
you are working your computer,
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
your speaking mouth has to be behind the cone of your microphone. It doesn't
Yeah,
it
yeah.
doesn't work.
It was
when
touching
you're
my throat. I could
on the
tell
other
it was not going to
side.
be ideal. Yeah.
Mhm.
You're
But
touching your
anyway.
what?
Oh my God, Taylor Swift is greater than the rest of it. It has just also super chatted as well. It just says super chat $1. Thank you very much, Taylor Swift's greater than. Wow. I guess this means that YouTube are going to have to figure out some way of paying me now, because they have not set up that side of the
Yep.
agreement yet. They said, "Oh, we don't need to do that yet. We don't owe you any money." Well, now you do. So I look forward to hearing something.
Now they
from
do.
YouTube. Yeah, I'm going to lean on the mic again for a sec. 1 sec. In your heart,
So
like. Whoa.
what's going
And
I'm
that
on?
is a
back again.
super sticker.
Yeah, what's a super sticker? What's a super sticker? Is that the
On your
bench?
side, it might actually be a sticker.
Well, it looks like
on
a smiley face
StreamYards,
with
it
dark
doesn't
glasses.
look right. There you go.
Is that right? The smiley face, dark glasses. Well, thank you again. This is so weird. I've never had this stuff before. It's just okay. I know I've done this sort of thing a long time ago in chats to other people. It's been a while since I've done that as well. I must have been very, very, very poor.
So that is the super cool emoji.
Yeah, as a super sticker. Yeah, very cool. I forgot what we're talking about now. Oh, by the way, if I seem distracted,
I was trying to. No. I was trying to say about Silo actually.
Yeah, what
And
is
why
Silo?
I'm mentioning it because the author of the Silo is a guy who decided to go for self-publishing through the Amazon, and he find the success through that part, and he said, I don't want to pay any extra stuff to the publishing houses and stuff.
Yeah.
So it definitely works for some people, but what I realize also, you need to push yourself in terms of marketing and publicity,
Oh yeah, yeah,
and people
Yeah.
people put some videos with promotions on a TikTok or whatever, just to
yes,
attract more people towards your work. And it's not going to work like you put it, forget it, and it might happen accidentally that
yeah,
someone mentioned it in some popular podcast, and then really big popularity come to you. But if you're not working it on marketing, I don't
yeah.
think you can monetize reliably.
No,
That's my
No.
opinion, or like,
I
mm,
I think you're right, Lonnie. What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah, I thought you'd add in there.
Um, it,
I may be wrong.
yes, the marketing side of it is grueling, and I wish we had a good user-driven marketing support.
Yeah.
Something that would help us out there. And all these years, it's just never surfaced.
It is. You'd have thought the YouTube would suffice because everything I've published recently have been out on YouTube as the series first, and it is a way.
Hmm.
I wanted to try and get an idea of how much money I've made on the book side through Amazon and Kindle, but I couldn't get. I finally got a massive spreadsheet of everything, and I still couldn't quite get it total up the column that was probably the profit on sales. I'm pretty sure this is not the profit. It looks like 600 quid, £600 worth of stuff has been sold, which is actually quite a few books.
Wow.
But I don't think I've made £600 because the percentage you
I
get
see.
in royalties is quite a bit smaller. So let's say I've made 10%. Let's say I made 60 quid. So that's not bad. Again, hats off to
Hmm.
Amazon. Thank you for letting me do that. But yeah, if you were actually seriously going to do this as a business, as this author, I think is a proper author who wants to make money as an author, yeah, he must be promoting it using some corporate mechanism to do his promotions.
And what I realized, actually, it's quite so I can hear Georgian lingual, English
Yeah.
lingual, and Russian lingual podcasts and some like channels, and I
Hmm.
realized I'm pretty sure they use different strategies in different regions. So in Georgia, for example, like till recent, like only Facebook was popular.
Yeah.
Then somehow Instagram sales skyrocket into in Russia, and gradually come to Georgia. So now
Yeah.
they pushing this one. TikTok is also very popular in Georgia, but I don't
Also here.
in Russia as well. Become yeah. So I don't know which channel might work for which region, because it's also have strong dependency on that.
Yeah.
And yeah, with the English lingo, probably I'm the worst aware, unfortunately. So yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'm
again, if you don't sell yourself, no one will buy it. I mean,
yeah, absolutely. I'm
Absolutely.
I'm not
Absolutely.
doing this as seriously as I should as a money making exercise, to put it that way. But kind of like also with science, the way we did. You remember when we did science, Chuka? We weren't doing that for the money either. We were doing it to get our stuff published, so our ideas were out there. Look, see, that's why he's drinking whatever he's drinking. Or no, wait, he's there
Is,
doing
is,
science. I wanted to assume he'd be drinking.
is, that,
Um,
is that code for drinking? Yeah, I gotcha. Yeah.
very
Science.
obvious code, yes. But my point was that our impetus for doing stuff is not the massive amounts of money we rake in, is it, Chuka? It's normally just getting stuff out there, the ideas out there, more or less. And we
how
like to.
could you repeat it
Yeah,
excellently? Miss it.
our main impetus for doing stuff in the world of science, and I apply that to my other stuff, the stuff I write, the literature, if you like. You want to give it a high flung title. I use the same mentality for that as I did for when we did science, which was I want the stuff published and I want stuff to be able to access it, but I don't want to make £1 billion off this. Hell, if someone wants to throw me £1 billion, awesome. But my mind is not there going, I must get the £1 billion, because I think that's kind of an unhealthy way to be.
I think it's different. I think the same thing you can see in academia, even like in science.
Yeah.
There are people who are extremely good in getting grants.
Oh yeah.
Like they know who should they put into their project and really like successfully find the fundings. And there are another type of scientists who are extremely good in science, but they suck in this grant writing applications and stuff. So they might fail like application by application, then they get some position and they're paid by they're not kind of acknowledged as much as they should be.
Yeah.
And I think the same comes
So,
like we are not the good in the marketing, I think.
no, we're not. Some
Yeah.
scientists end up owning Alitalia, don't they?
Yes. No, but what for example, what my problem, for example, was that I thought like, okay, I need to finish this episode, put it online, and then somehow it's already done. And then I realized, no, it's not enough. It's not enough at all because I realized, like, for example, just to give you the like, I have Georgian lingo podcast, so it's
Yeah.
probably not popular. My most
I find it hard
viewed
to follow
episode
those.
is like 2 hours. Yeah, yeah. If you are not drunk, if you are drunk, you start to understand things. But yeah, so it was 2 hour or 3 hour episode with more than 4,000 views. And
Yeah.
then accidentally, some guy just cut out some small piece of video, put it on the Facebook, and he got like really like huge amount of reshares. So it was like 4,000 only reshares.
Hmm.
And I became I was invited in TV show because of this guy
Mm.
who cut down small like 1 minute fragment from my video,
And it's a
and I
Georgian one.
realized that okay, yeah, Georgia one,
Yeah.
and yeah, I mean, and I mean, I realized that okay, someone needs to do this. You need to promote your own stuff, even it's
Yeah.
good. It's not enough. I
Oh,
mean, so
absolutely.
yeah, yeah,
I
and
totally agree.
some episodes are like accidentally. I don't know why we become viral. So it was like I know, but when the Russia invades like Ukraine, and there was a
Hmm.
Chernobyl stuff.
Yeah.
I made like 50 minutes video or 8 minute video about nuclear hazard and safety. And it gets
Yes.
viral, and it's Georgian lingual, and it gets like 500,000 views and stuff. So my statistic is completely ruined now. So I
Mm.
have this flat line and then the spike, and I can
Uh-huh.
see nothing on total statistics because of this video. Yeah,
That is one hell of a spike, though. Well done.
yeah, yeah. Sorry.
No, that was really good. I wonder how many people will realize who we're talking about in terms of the wealthy scientists. But hopefully, no one will twig. Otherwise, we can never go back. Lonnie, what would you like to say?
What would I like to say?
Yeah. I mean, we've been yammering
I've
for
just
way
been
too long.
enjoying the science here.
Science.
Well, I was just going to mention that Darren brought up that we need to do some science and smoke some brisket. So the next time we're all in the same country, we should do that.
Yeah.
I think we're
That'd be an awesome
all
idea.
in different countries right now.
Yeah. I have been on holiday, very luckily, with Juka a couple of times in Georgia, and there's some awesome food out there, and some awesome. I don't really drink these days anymore, but there's some awesome alcohol to be had as well. The wine, the Query wine, is like no other wine. It's the best wine. I even tried to make
Thank
my
you.
own, which was not bad, but not quite as good as Georgian. Go on. What were you saying?
Actually, you bring like really nice cider, and also you took, I think, a liter of the tarragon syrup. Do you remember that?
I did. I do remember it. Very nice.
So you need to, yeah. So who maybe you don't know, but Dr. Alex is really good into making his own alcohol drinks. And my
Was.
father actually took the last bottle of the cider, and drink it alone with friend. So I mean, like without me, not alone, but
Oh.
without me. I am still pissed off.
Well, I hope he said he enjoyed it.
He enjoyed. Yeah, he definitely enjoyed. So you need to come to visit, yeah, and take some another supplies like tarragon
Yeah. I can do some more tarragon. Tarragon. What do you
syrup.
call it? Tarragon
Dr.
syrup.
Alex, the
Syrup,
moonshiner.
Yeah. I made good cider. I made good mead. I made good wines in the end as well. Well, yeah, particularly I like red wine, but red wine really makes me feel terrible the next day. Except Georgian Kaveri wine doesn't. And when I make it myself, probably because the lack of sulfites being thrown into it, it doesn't make me feel terrible at all. So if I make my own red wine, awesome. Get it from almost anywhere else other than very specific Georgian red wine, feel terrible the next day. So anyway, but I don't drink anymore. This is really sad. All these things I do in terms of making amazing booze, and I don't even use it. There's stuff in the loft upstairs, which has been there for now years because I haven't drunk it, and I wonder what it's like. But anyway, yes, we should definitely do that. I can have a glass, here and there, time to time, just to celebrate again.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Oh,
So
by the way,
we are talking about Russian Georgia.
Yeah. Well, it's
Russian.
not Russian.
Russian Georgia. Oh my God. Oh my.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the old part of USSR, if you meant that one.
Yeah.
Not US Georgia.
Yeah. Yes. Not that one. So weird when we were the first holiday we had over there, where we were there with
Tatiana,
three Russians, me and you, and we nearly drove into Russia.
Yeah, accidentally, yeah.
Very close to driving into Russia.
They want to visit like very nice waterfalls, and Google kind of miscalculate some stuff, and probably we also do not turn to the place. It shows us the road, and it was not road. It was like some really, really faintly, vaguely seen path or whatever. And so we miss it, and we realize, oh my God, there's too much weaponry these people have. And then we realize we almost crossed to the border of Ingushetia or whatever.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. No one will get shot.
When I was in Germany,
awesome, yeah.
Well, if you hear weird
when I
noises
was in Germany, it was before the fall.
Oh, sorry, Lonnie. Go on. Sorry, I interrupted.
When I was in Germany, it was before. No, when I was in Germany, it was before the fall of the Soviet Union. So when I wandered up to a fence, these very husky gentlemen that looked like they belonged in Harry Potter 4 rolled up with their fantastic firearms and encouraged me not to stand by the barbed wire fence. And apparently I had wandered right up to the line between East Berlin and West Berlin. And they did not like that. Man, they frowned on that back then.
Oh yeah.
That was 86, right before the wall fell.
Oh yeah, I could imagine.
Anyway, I have encountered Russians with guns, and I decided, well, they were actually probably Hungarian or something, but I've had the experience of finding out that that the Eastern Bloc and firearms is a thing.
Yeah.
Not to be repeated.
But
I don't know. Like we.
Go on.
Okay. So no.
No, this is your ballpark. You should definitely comment on it.
No, I was. We at least like in Soviet Union, we always have a rumor that all good firearms we have, like we steal from Germany after World War II. So
yeah, who wouldn't? If you can hear weird noises, by the way, I have to say that. If you hear weird noises, there are so many animals in this flat. It's ridiculous. There's this giant dog. Not that. She's a little staffy type dog, but she's chewing something up on the floor right now, having just chased the cats all over the flat. That weird noises everywhere. I'm amazed none of them made it onto camera. I wonder if you can come up. Then he said Juka there. Juno is her name. Juno, come here. Up, hip. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, there's your head. Yeah, there's your head. She's gonna eat the microphone. She's eating the microphone.
Oh yeah.
Juno, what's this? What's this? What's that? That's my finger. Still my finger. Yeah, it's still my finger.
There we go.
Chewing. Right now down. Good girl. Good girl. Now go
You
back to
you're
chewing that
using
thing.
dynamic microphone probably, right?
Dynamic.
Is it a or it's condenser? Because I cannot hear a lot of sound. So for me, your voice was quite clear.
Yeah,
If you
it's
wouldn't mention it, I thought because I was in park, maybe I thought it was like coming from like far away from here. So I don't know. It was
no,
not
it's a
that
bog
bad.
standard passive mic. Yeah, it's not powered at all.
Ah, okay.
Which I
So it's
don't
dynamic probably.
say again.
It's not phantom powered, right?
No, absolutely not. I mean,
So
this is what I use
so
for
it's dynamic probably, yeah.
this is what I use for singing. But they've always just gone straight into an amp and never had a battery in them. Never needed it. I don't know, why do people use powered microphones?
They're more sensitive and maybe they give like richer tone.
Okay.
I was at least my amateur knowledge is that. So dynamic, you need to cross the threshold. You need to generate a lot of pressure because you're generating the signal itself.
Yeah.
And dynamic and the condenser one, it can pick up even faint stuff. Uh, so your tone, in principle, it will be richer, but you need to tread your room precisely to make it quiet, to
Yeah.
eliminate the noise flow and stuff. So I think that's the reason.
I guess I must have a very loud
And
voice.
no, I like, for example,
Can't
in
think of it
crowded
as
place.
having a preamp on the audio side.
No, it's going into a,
Uh,
yeah. It has a
yeah.
thingy before it gets to the computer. That's for sure. Yeah. Preamp. That'd be the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many musical experts here. It's amazing. Not me. Definitely not me. But
I'm not musical expert. I'm just,
Not I.
I'm, yeah.
thank you, Darren. And Darren
Actually, I
says
find, yeah.
Dr. Alex's Wild Kingdom. So, yeah. You're not wrong. The cats have been all over the place. In fact, are you still out?
Ah, I see.
Oh, she's disappeared. Okay. The cats have fled. The dog has scared them all away. Oh, so
Do you still
so
have
silly.
foxes in your yard or not? Not
Oh
really.
yeah.
Yeah.
I fed her earlier today.
Ah,
Very
okay.
cute. She actually slept with me on the garden
Do the
until
foxes
this
come
thing.
in the house?
No, they don't. No, and thankfully no, because this thing started barking, which I heard from the garden. So I had to say to the fox,
Ah,
"Sorry, fox. I know you were just chilling there, sleeping on the garden about 6 feet away from me, but now I have to go in and deal with this thing." So the fox was a bit disgruntled as I got up, but she did stay there virtually and let me go. And I waved by, and up I came and dealt with this thing. Told her off for barking because she's not allowed to bark. She's annoying the neighbors. Anyway, so yeah, foxes
I
too.
wonder, are you petting these foxes or you don't touch them or you just feed them and how is your behavior like in safety terms?
The one out there now, I'm pretty sure, I'm 100% sure actually, is Feisty Fox, who I knew as a cub last year.
I see.
And when she was a cub, she would take the sausages I feed them from my hand. And there were times when she would come close enough that I could just stroke the side of her mouth and risk getting my finger bitten. But I could do it. Now she's old. She's an adult. She's more cautious, but she will still walk up my leg to get a sausage I've left higher up my leg. And she sometimes, when I was wearing shorts, she was leaning into my leg. So I'm taking that as I've stroked the fox again, but I can't do it with my hands anymore. She's just, if she decides to touch bits of me, that's as good as I can get because she's not as fearless as when she was a cub.
I see.
But she
No,
still
that's a good thing. Yeah.
knows it's me. I mean, she will climb up my leg with her paws reasonably fearlessly, but way more nervous than she used to be. Yeah.
I see. Yeah, that's why she survived in the wild. So
yeah, she's limping on her back leg and has been for about 3 months. So she must have been hit, I think, by a car because her tail's also bent at the back as well. But it's recovered. The tail will always be bent, I think, but she's walking on all 4 legs better and better now, and she still jumps up walls and stuff. So she's doing all right. She looks really healthy today. Very, very shiny nose. Looks in really good condition. There you go. That's the update of the foxes. Anyone there? Yeah, Darren M. Wild Kingdom. Wild Kingdom extends beyond just the flat to the garden itself as well.
Indeed.
Mm. I'm just
We've
looking
all
at the dog.
enjoyed your Wild Kingdom videos.
Sorry, say again.
I said we've all enjoyed your Wild Kingdom videos.
Thank you. I wonder if YouTube will continue me monetized if half my videos I show up are those Fox videos, which I don't. They're not there. They're not there to be monetized videos, but well, I mean, I'll put them up and do exactly. I'm not going to change anything. I'm not changing anything. I'm
For
not.
some people, cats are working, so why fox is worse than cat? I don't understand. So it should be
Yeah, I know.
okay.
It's just I just still cannot figure for the life of me why they monetized it in the first place. Why do you want to monetize it? What do you
Well,
think is going to be making you money? I don't know. But I'm not changing a damn thing. I'm just putting out the same stuff I've always put out. And we'll see what happens.
yeah.
Oh, we've got a trifecta of nations here.
We do.
Have you thought about that?
Mm.
What
Yeah.
what international topics exist that are not just utterly laughable to begin with?
Do we want to get that serious? You want to not laugh?
No, I'm just throwing that up there. I'm not saying we should chase that rabbit, but
Yeah.
Which one? So you need to topic which we should not. Actually, I have one topic about it. It was not international. It was like you all read like Isaac Asimov's Foundation, right?
I've not read
yes.
Foundation, but I
At least,
know of
yeah.
it. And I
Okay.
realize
Mhm.
It just struck me like from like so the synopsis of the so maybe you don't know it or whatever. So it was like big like galactic empire started to break down, and
yeah.
then the some countryside of this empire became decay like faster, and then they build up foundation in order to preserve the knowledge on this like side of the galaxy, and then like for a reason to rebuild the empire, whatever. And I thought for myself that actually, when I read it, I was always thinking that oh my God, how can people degrade so fast? It's not realistic. It's not. It's not real. It's so fake. And then
Mm.
Soviet Union breakdown, and I
Mm-hmm.
started now realize that actually I'm like Georgia is like really side of this empire,
Yeah.
and you can't imagine how fast everything degrades here, and in Soviet Union as well. Like in Russia, they cannot build as much technology as they could build. So I meet the guy. He was studying rocket science in
Yeah.
a master. Like he said like his master was about ailerons of the some rockets, it's
Mm-hmm.
the jet engine of the rocket or whatever. And he said like they have some samples. They said that this is carbon, and there might be some technology. They vaporize the plastic out of to build this carbon, but they don't know how they built it 20 years ago because they
Mm.
kind of lost this technology, and they have this sample, but they cannot recreate it. And I started to think about this stuff from different perspective. Like it's amazing how fast we can degrade. And
Yeah.
also,
Go on.
yeah, no.
No.
And oh,
What?
okay. And so
Oh,
like
can
oh.
only take one generation.
Yeah.
uh, n-
You reminded me of something, but you finish your thought
I,
first,
I,
JP.
I I think two more because like we have this top like scientists, really involved scientists who actually was kind of binded to these places where they work for. And then they have like middle-aged like scientists who actually could escape Georgia, and my generation, and now the younger generation. So it's like
Hmm.
four generation. Like I mean, it's not 20 years generation, but like 10, 15 years generations I'm talking about, or
Yeah.
10. And like now they do not have link to this first generation. The first one, they even think in completely different manner. So no one. So in my institute, for example, average age is like 70 plus.
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like it's dying. I mean,
Dang.
it's not science anymore. Like
Is that?
2,000 people working in the Institute of Physics, and
Yeah.
now it's like 200 barely. And we have like nuclear plant
Uh-huh.
to study like extra low temperature effects of radiation to the materials, and now
Yeah.
we have nothing. We barely have uh, we didn't have even medical accelerator of the protons or something. It is completely insane how we can quickly degrade and just lost ability to
Mm.
think even on this scale.
You might think this is a peculiar thing to the former Eastern Bloc, former Soviet bloc countries, but no,
Yeah.
you reminded me this country has gone to the dogs as well. And I'm sure when I finish doing my bit, Lonnie will give me a similar tale from the US. But um, my particular personal take on it, Juka, is I sold my last car in 2012, just before I started my PhD. Yeah, because
Uh-huh.
I figured cars are a money pit. They're expensive. I'm a student now. I can't afford this, and I don't need to because we've got public transport in this country. And even after I
Uh-huh.
got the PhD and finished it and came back to work in this country, I still determined to use public transport the whole time. I live in London. It's got a really complex, um, reasonably well maintained public transport system, trains, buses, underground, and then beyond in the country as a whole, there's the railways. There the railways, and I determined I don't need to buy a car. And then 2 years ago now, 2022, yeah, 2022, I bought my first new vehicle, and not a new vehicle. I bought a 1982 Honda 125 motorbike, and this is the insanity
Okay.
of things going to the dogs and basically things regressing and going backwards. I bought this 40-year-old motorbike because it's a classic vehicle, and this country, in this city, you don't have to pay what's called ULEZ, which is an emissions charge. Makes no sense. It's a 40-year-old vehicle, and I have to not pay an emissions charge. I don't pay tax for it. I don't have to get an MOT, which is a make sure it's safe to drive check on it. It I and I did this because the transport card, public transport card, topped £180 a month. That
And what was it before? Just for me to have a scale.
okay. I remember when it was under £100 a month, and it's gone tick, 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 over the years, and it's now up to over £180 for a month's worth of travel in the capital. I started saving money almost immediately upon getting the motorbike. It's ridiculous. This is not the way it should be, but this is where we got to. Then 3 months, 4 months ago, 5 months, I bought a car.
Okay.
Again, I had no
Classic one.
intention of buying. Go on, say Jika.
Classic one. This is the one you show on
Yes,
the Facebook. Okay. Okay.
exactly. A car that's even older than the motorbike. This is from 1972, so it's a 52-year-old car now. But again, ULEZ exempt, tax exempt, MOT exempt. I have had to pay money on both instances to get the vehicle up to scratch after getting it. But even paying like 300, 400 quid on each vehicle immediately after buying it, that's been recouped in the terms of the motorbike very quickly. The car, I've only had it 4 months, but I have driven it more than I intended. The trains in this country, I could still get tickets quite cheaply, relatively, for reasons, but the reliability was terrible. When I went to pick up the car, every train out of Euston Station was cancelled, and for hours, and it was just one further sign that you can't use the public transport in this country anymore. The whole country is going to crap. The things I was trying to do, the right things, using public transport, not using a car, out the window, because I can't do it now and actually save money. This is not how it should be.
But
I shouldn't be using 40+ old vehicles as a money saving device. This is why I wasn't going to buy a car, let alone a classic, ever again, because they are money pits usually. Suddenly they're not. And you travel through London now, the number of classic cars, and when I say classic cars, I mean beat up old rust heaps from 1985 now, 1984 and earlier. They are way more of them you'd expect tottering around London because it's cheaper than the public transport. Anyway, that's my personal perspective of the rapid deterioration of things. Discuss.
uh,
It only
well,
takes 20 years to I
No. I'm listening.
I
Sorry.
started here, Luca, but
You go first.
No. Please. I will be after.
okay. Um, it only takes one generation, 20 years, to completely wreck a society. The thinking, at least here in the United States, stopped being customer focused. What should it cost for me, the customer, to purchase and use a thing and get satisfaction from that? That's what we call customer satisfaction. 20 years turnaround, we get a group of children now running the country that have now made the discussion about the worker. What should I get for making you the thing that you will be satisfied with, period? And that's why we now have a $25 McDonald's hamburger that no one wants. It's why we have Starliner now, after many billions of overruns and restarts, latched on to the International Space Station, attached to an ancient Soviet vehicle, because the engineers that put it together didn't know how to test the darn thing to begin with. And they're building the airplanes and maintaining the airplanes that we're traveling on now. And they also are the generation that imagine electric cars don't need gasoline and also don't need the electric wires to charge the cars.
Hmm.
So that's a picture of the state of things. And I'm just going to say the way we got there was parenting gone wrong,
Yeah, I think
and
so too.
and abandoning your children to their telephone.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Oh, did we
over.
lose Juka?
He's still there.
I'm here. I just was interested in some surroundings of my stuff.
There are a
But
lot of
I'm listening.
pampered children, that's for sure. People who are told they're special without ever having to earn that thought. That's for sure. You've reminded me about the electric stuff, by the way. I was watching another YouTube vid earlier today about this guy who's converting Land Rovers to electric. And I was thinking, well, that sounds cool, making them electric vehicles. Yeah, I can see that. And I watched it, and it all sounded very laudable, and he's doing a great job. All power to him. Good luck for making your business. And then it got to how much do they cost? And so, yeah, these are probably the cheapest way of retrofitting an electric vehicle into an old vehicle. He's using old Land Rovers that are classic vehicles. £35,000.
$500,000?
So, no, but £35,000. Now, you might not think that sounds like a lot, but it is to most people. I bought my classic car because it cost me £1,500, 1,500 quid. That's what most people would think. That's a cheap car, and reasonably so. I agree. That is a cheap car. 35 grand is not what most people should be paying for a car, given what the salaries are right now at the moment. It makes no sense at all. But a lot of people out there are this overly pampered, moneyed middle class type. And most people in the media are over pampered, moneyed middle class types who think, oh, there's nothing wrong with 35. That's very reasonable. Really? How many people out there in the real world are going to be forking out that for their vehicle? And what they will, of course, be doing is putting it on credit. If they are doing it, they'll be paying it off for years, if ever.
Yeah. And that's on top of the car.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. And it still requires maintenance, of course. It's being an old car, even with an electric vehicle. Motoring, yeah.
And
and battery degrades as well. So
is
yeah.
100,000.
Say again.
The Cybertruck is 100,000.
Yeah, this was once upon a time that was supercar kind of money, but no, not anymore apparently. Indeed. cheerful thoughts.
I stepped on you, Juka. I'm
uh,
sorry.
Yeah, go on, Juka.
no, you don't. You do not. I have a kind of question. Like 180 pounds, you pay like at least I'm now in Geneva. In Geneva, I think it's cost like 75 per month abonnement, but you need some
Yeah,
ID card to have.
that's more
And
normal.
I think it's
Yes.
heavily. But it's only one zone. So if you are
Yeah.
far away and you need to cross like several zones, it's
Yeah.
become like more expensive. So you are now in the middle or like really on the very
I'm in
side of the
zone.
London
I'm in
to pay.
zone
So
three. I'm in zone three, and
okay,
I
so
have
you
to
need to
get
cross
into
three
zone.
zones. Okay,
I have to get into zone 2 or 1. I might have been able to get away just about
okay.
with zone 2, maybe, but I tend to snick the edge of zone 1. But even so, I'm not in zone 6. No, and I'm not going from zone 6 into zone 1. But
Yeah.
it's no. I mean, most other European countries I have been in, and in one case lived in briefly when I was in Naples. Yeah, that was a hell of a lot cheaper public transport than London, and it's quite modern, quite
Especially
well.
if you are living there. So if you are not tourist, when you're a tourist, it's harder to get cheap cheap
Yeah,
abonnement. But yeah, I think
sure.
it's um,
But
and one thing also like which on comics mentioned like young generation, but surprisingly in US, despite the young generation, the presidents are like dinosaurs, right? And I wonder like how it's like even possible like to maintain the society from this perspective. Like you expect like more like younger and younger presidents, and somehow it's not working this way. And it seems like older presidents kind of pushing the younger people agendas or whatever. I don't understand this quite well. And yeah, that's probably the second topic I realized. Like in Europe and in US and in my country, like for example, like old USSR countries,
yeah,
uh, we we usually do not quite understand the context of society. So we kind of take the facts. For our perspective, it's complete nonsense. But when we realize, okay, we really don't understand each other because we don't know exactly the backgrounds of each other. So for me, Russia, like racism is kind of understandable, but not as much as in US because in Georgia, for example, we have slaves, but usually the peasants were slaves of the lords, literally. Like till the recent, like 200 years ago, the lords kind of selling the peasants to Turkey. And for our perspective, it's completely, we don't understand like the struggles, for example, African Americans have in US because we just don't we feel kind of this ourselves.
it's
But
a long
yeah,
way
well,
away.
it's
Yeah,
really hard. Yeah, and also in Soviet Union, like after Soviet Union, the idea of privacy is kind of really like some people really defend it, but I don't really trust government that it do not spy on me anyway. So I do not have even in dreams the illusion that Google will not spy on me. I mean, okay, Google will not, but my government will, and probably my government will make even worse thing with this information than Google. So I'm okay with Google spying on me because my government do it anyway. So I kind of don't believe in the privacy at all because of my background. It seems like this, and I'm pretty sure for for your perspective, some things I'm telling or saying might sound completely insane as well. So I don't know. That's just for
Not
thoughts
really.
which circulating. And, yeah,
not insane, just
okay.
different. I mean, it's a different.
Yeah.
You've had a different cultural background because you've had the whole. You did have the former Soviet Union thing going on. I mean, it was there,
Yeah.
and you were just in
Yeah.
it, weren't you? You're just old enough to just be in it. I mean, I'm old enough to just remember it, so you must be more or less. Maybe just
No,
you're
no.
younger than me, aren't you?
I'm like 41, so
Yeah, a little bit younger than me.
I have almost 10 years I live
Young
in
guy.
USSR.
Young guy.
True. Now, I hate to have to do this, guys. The dog is making horrible smells and is getting very insistent here. We've been going for over an hour, which is well done to us, I think. Um,
But we'll
Yeah,
come
but
back
probably hard
sometime.
for the listeners, right?
say again.
but probably
well done
harder
for
for
people
the
listening.
listeners.
And thank you, Lonnie, for putting that electric car thing in the chat. That was very, very mindful of what was going on and getting a few responses. Thank you very much.
People
I'm afraid
responded?
we'll have to do the wind up because I need to get this dog out before it leaves a huge,
Okay.
massive turd emoji on the. And it could do. Yes, you could. So I would like to say thank you both for coming along and celebrating the albeit probably very short-lived monetization of this channel. And this video may well have killed it. You never know.
Not yet. I think we could come up with a topic that would.
Maybe that's a good time to stop. But before we do that, let's go through. I'll start with Lonnie. Lonnie, tell me about your amazing channel and what's going on, and tell me what's coming up in the future. Go.
Okay, so I'm on comics. I have made the channel talking about comics and drawing comics and things like that. Then I got so angry with the state of the new woke media that I just shut down. I didn't review for a long time. I had people copyright striking me for reviewing their comics, and so what I'm probably going to do, I've got a couple of things on the back burner that are probably going to come forward. I might open up a secondary channel and talk about some ham radio type of things, the actual, sciencey type of things. But I will probably be discussing in the very near future a comic strip I have been threatening to draw for Svi over on for his Slightly Naughty magazine.
That sounds intriguing. Yeah.
I think we should do our best to cover each other's marketing efforts and make noise for everybody involved.
Yes, thank you for reminding me. I should just quickly point out Z has done all the covers for the books that I've done, the season 12, 13, 14.
Okay.
Svi does an immense amount to help everyone in his life. Who
Rabbi from another planet.
Yes. Everyone go and subscribe to him. Thank you, Lonnie. I'm now going to hand over to Juka before the dog eats the microphone. Go, Juka.
Okay, first of all, I want to congratulate you with all my heart, and I wish you good luck. And I kind of believe that, I kind of believe that they will not demonetize you. I just believe that you need additional several years to really get some popularity you deserve. And I wish you that, quicker, make quicker.
Retirement or death, something like that. Sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, well, sounds good. Before that sounds good. Till you can enjoy it, right? Yeah. And what else? Yeah.
Well, what are you doing? Tell us about you.
Well, I'm kind of trying to put I'm doing the podcast, but I'm trying to put some English lingual content, and now I have only one episode done, like personal growth through drinking or something like this.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that.
It was really funny because it was about a guy who come to Georgia and get the grant to learn about Georgian wines. Yeah. You cannot learn the Georgian wine without drinking, right? So I try to do it more. My original channel sounds like if you translate it, sounds like science for everyone. But I think for English channel, I already take the name kind of piece of science or a piece of science, and I try to put as much English lingo content as I could find. And yeah, let's see what's happened next. But my English is not as perfect as Dr. Alex one, and probably some people struggle to hear it. But yeah, well, I'm trying my best. What can I say?
It's very good. Stop doing yourself down.
He does a wonderful job.
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
So again, thank you both for coming. Thank you, chat. I can see you're still busy chatting away, particularly Darren M and Taylor Swift. Blah 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 blah. Not the actual Taylor Swift, I'm sure. But anyway,
it would be funny if she.
I'm so sad.
Okay.
We need to do this more often and do this again, but I cannot
Yes.
let this dog explode anymore.
I'm available whenever you want.
Brilliant. On that bombshell, I'm going to do. I don't have to do the same ducking. I can actually reach it. Okay. Fine. I'm going to end the stream. Seriously, the Wizzy Wheel of Death. In a civilized manner. So thank you again, and thank you for all of you for coming. And I look forward to seeing as many of us as possible in whatever we do next. And until then, to all my watchers, subscribers, and viewers, take care. Boink.
Bye all.
Bye.
Are we still there?
Share and